Most people over 65 believe that if they just get their 10,000 steps in, they're safe. They think walking is the gold standard of aging gracefully. But today, I'm going to show you why that belief is actually a dangerous trap. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to reveal why a 72-year-old marathon walker can still have the leg stability of a 90-year-old, and why there is one specific movement you can do from a kitchen chair that is scientifically proven to be better than walking for your longevity. Surgeons use this one move to predict how long you will live, and if you can't do it correctly today, your risk of losing your independence in the next 5 years triples. We aren't just talking about fitness, we are talking about the mystery of the fast-twitch fiber, the hidden biological switch that walking ignores, but this chair exercise flips on instantly. If you want to keep your keys, your home, and your freedom, you cannot afford to miss a single second of this. Section 1. The Walking Trap and the Secret of Sarcopenia. Let's start with a hard truth. You've been told to just keep moving. But movement and strength are not the same thing. I call this the walking paradox. Have you ever noticed someone who walks every single day, yet they still struggle to get out of a deep sofa? Or maybe they walk 3 miles a morning, but their legs feel heavy or unreliable when they go up a flight of stairs. This happens because of a medical condition called sarcopenia. What is sarcopenia? After the age of 60, your body begins a process of muscle wasting. Research shows we lose about 3 to 5% of our leg strength every single year if we aren't targeting it correctly. By the time you hit 75, you could have lost nearly half of the muscle mass you had in your 40s. Walking is an aerobic activity. It's great for your heart and your lungs, don't get me wrong. I want you to keep walking. But walking primarily uses type 1, slow twitch fibers. These fibers are built for endurance. They are thin, lean, and meant for long distances. The missing link, type 2, fast-twitch fibers. The mystery I mentioned in the hook is your type 2 fast-twitch muscle fibers. These are the big, powerful fibers responsible for standing up from a toilet or chair, catching yourself if you trip on a rug, powering up a curb. Walking does almost nothing for these fibers. When you only walk, your type 2 fibers begin to fall asleep and eventually atrophy. This is why active walkers still fall and break hips. They have the endurance to walk a mile, but they don't have the power to stop a fall. Section 2. Why surgeons love the sit-to-stand. If you walk into a geriatric specialist's office today, they likely won't ask you how many miles you walked yesterday. Instead, they will give you the CRT-5 test, chair rise test. Why? Because your ability to move your body weight vertically is the single greatest predictor of your biological age, the mortality predictor. Studies from the British Medical Journal and the Mayo Clinic have shown that the speed and ease with which you can stand up from a chair is directly correlated with your lifespan. When you perform a sit-to-stand, you aren't just exercising, you're performing a functional compound movement. This exercise targets the VMO, the vastus medialis obliquus. This is often called the teardrop muscle, located just above your kneecap. Listen closely. If your knees ache when you walk, it's often because your VMO has weakened. When this muscle atrophies, your kneecap doesn't track properly. It starts to rub, causing that bone-on-bone feeling. The chair exercise we're about to do acts like a natural knee brace. By strengthening the VMO, you are literally pulling your knee joints into a safer, more stable alignment. This is why surgeons approve this over walking. It fixes the foundation before you put the miles on the tires. Section 3. The perfect chair exercise. Step by step. Now let's get into the how. I want you to find a sturdy chair right now, not a rolling office chair and not a soft, squishy sofa. A dining room chair or a kitchen chair is perfect. Phase 1. The nose over toes rule. The biggest mistake seniors make is trying to stand up using only their lower back. This leads to chronic back pain. The fix: sit on the front third of the chair. Keep your feet hip-width apart. The move: lean your torso forward until your nose is over your toes. This shifts your center of gravity and preloads the glutes and hamstrings. Phase 2. The arms crossed standard. If you use your hands to push off the armrests, you're cheating your muscles. You're using your triceps instead of your legs.
The goal? Cross your arms over your chest. If you can't do this yet, don't worry, I'll give you a modification in a moment. But the goal is to let your legs do 100% of the work. Phase 4, the power launch. The move, drive through your heels. Do not push off your toes. Driving through the heels activates the posterior chain, your glutes. The visualization, imagine you were trying to push the floor away from you rather than trying to pull yourself up. Phase 5, the secret 3-second descent. This is where the magic happens. Most people plop back down into the chair. When you plop, you're missing 50% of the benefit. The science? This is called eccentric loading. It is the absolute best way to build bone density and prevent osteoporosis. The move, take a full 3 seconds to sit back down. Feel the burn in your thighs. If you were shaking, that's good. That is your type 2 fibers waking up.
Section 4. Addressing knee pain and safety. I know what some of you are thinking, but doctor, my knees hurt when I try to stand up. This is a valid concern, and we are going to address it right now. If you have bad knees, walking on hard pavement is actually more stressful than a controlled chair exercise. Modification, the assisted launch. If you can't stand up without hands, use a touch-and-go method. Place 2 fingers on a sturdy table in front of you. Use just enough pressure to help you up, but focus on the 3-second descent on the way down. The stiffness myth. Many seniors avoid this exercise because they feel stiff, but stiffness is often just weakness in disguise. When your muscles are weak, your brain sends a signal to tighten the joint to protect it. This creates a cycle of stiffness. By doing this one chair exercise, you are teaching your nervous system that the joint is supported, which actually reduces stiffness over time. Section 5. The 12-second challenge and your daily routine. How much of this should you do? If you want to see the 89% improvement in results that the latest studies show, you don't need to spend hours at the gym. The surgeon's prescription. I want you to do 3 sets of 10 repetitions 3 times a week. That's it. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Total time, less than 10 minutes. The 12-second test. Here's your biological age challenge. Set a timer for 30 seconds. See how many times you can stand up and sit down fully with your arms crossed. Under 10, your legs are biologically 10 to 15 years older than you are. You are at a high risk for a fall. 10 to 15, you are doing okay, but there's room for improvement. Over 15, you have the leg power of someone in their 50s. Host. If you scored low today, do not be discouraged. The beauty of the human body is that muscles can adapt at any age. Whether you are 65, 85, or 105, your type 2 fibers are still there, waiting for the signal to grow. Section 6. The second heart in long-term independence. There is one more reason why this exercise is better than walking, and it has to do with your circulation. The second heart effect. Your calf muscles and your quadriceps act as a pump for your venous system. When you do a deep, controlled sit-to-stand, you are squeezing the large veins in your legs, pushing blood back up to your heart, and, more importantly, to your brain. A study from German scientists recently proved that leg-strengthening exercises actually increase brain volume. When your legs are strong, your brain produces more of a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This is like Miracle-Grow for your brain cells. Walking helps, but the high-intensity signal of a sit-to-stand produces significantly more. Preventing the plopping warning sign. If you take away nothing else from this video, remember the plop test. If you find yourself falling the last 2 inches into your chair, it is a warning sign that your neurological control is slipping. This is the same neurological control needed to step over a curb or navigate a crowded grocery store. By practicing the slow descent, you are retraining your brain to control your body through the entire range of motion. You are essentially installing a V8 engine into a chassis that was starting to rust. Why walking is still the sidekick.
I am not telling you to stop walking. Walking is a beautiful way to see the world and keep your heart healthy. But think of walking as your vitamin C. It's a daily supplement. Think of this chair exercise as your surgery. It is the intervention that actually fixes the structural problem of aging. A message to my seniors. I've seen patients who were told they needed a walker, but after 6 weeks of focusing on this one specific move, they were back to gardening, playing with their grandkids, and walking without fear. The fear of falling is often worse than the fall itself. It makes your world smaller. It keeps you inside. It makes you say no to invitations. I want you to start saying yes again. You now have the secret. You know about sarcopenia, you know about the mystery type 2 fibers, and you know the nose over toes rule. But knowing isn't doing. I want you to commit right now. In the comments below, I want you to type the word committed and tell me how many sit to stands you did today. Even if it was just 3. 3 is better than 0. Next step. If you found this helpful, you need to see my other video on the 3-minute morning routine that wakes up your balance axis before you even leave your bedroom. It pairs perfectly with this chair exercise to make you virtually unfallable. Click here to watch that next, and let's keep you strong, independent, and moving. I'll see you in the next video.